Are you ready?
Yo, start. Yeah, it's just okay. So I want to just talk to you straight about what you want to talk about, okay? About what you don't tell. And I don't think it's just a responsibility on me. I think it's a responsibility on you.
I'm not giving nothing up. I ain't giving nothing up that ain't nobody gonna ask me. We gonna have to play the game the right way. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to ask the questions, and I'm gonna answer them. I'm not just gonna just divulge or give up no information. That's how I am. We're gonna have real talk. Let's have real talk. You know, you're gonna have to answer the question. I'm not hearing no confessional. It's a little bit different with me. Priest gotta ask me the question. Now, what I signed on for is that I'm gonna answer the question. I'm gonna answer the question open and honestly. You ask me the question, I'll give you the answer. Coming up young, I always realized there was a difference between my mother and grandmother and the way they were like raising me. My grandmother would send me to the store to get her cigarettes all the time. This one time a kid came up to me and said if I didn't give him my money, he would beat me up. So I gave him my money. I came back home without the cigarettes. So my mother had told me if I didn't go back and get the money, I couldn't come home. You know, I left crying. I found a guy that told me he had to give me the money back. And then we had a fight and he kind of beat me up. But I told him like I couldn't go home. He beat me up all he wants. I couldn't go home unless I had got the money. That's one thing I remember that was different between my mother and my grandmother. My grandmother would let me come home, but my mother, she was dead serious. I could have stayed out there for days. My mother was, I guess, raising me for the real world. She was always told me if somebody hit me, make sure I hit them back harder. Make sure they never hit me again. Make sure I fucked them up. Yeah, I have memories of him throwing me in the air. Just him just throwing me in the air. That's all I really remember. And I remember the feeling it had it would make in my stomach, you know. So anytime I go on a roller coaster, I would think about my father. That's the same feeling that I had in my stomach when he threw me in the air. And I remember I didn't really like it like that. My father's name is Melvin Combs. I said he was a very stylish dresser. The ladies loved him. His whole everything was real meticulous. He had a lot of drive, a lot of determination. You know, he ain't want to be poor.
How old were you when you passed?
3. I was just turning 3. I can't say I was attached to my father like that because I didn't get a chance to get to know him. I was too young. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I always wanted to hear like the sound of his voice. All my life I've had a lot of death around me. From the beginning, I've always had like tragedy around me. Growing up, my mother always told me that he had got killed in a car accident. I always thought there was something funny about the story because whenever I was in the street or around like street hustlers or street people, they would always try to give me money or always treat me with respect. So I was like, was my father a gangster? Why do people fear my father or fear the name? I kept on hounding my family. Nobody would really tell me. They said, you gotta really talk to your mother about it. And so my first time in college, I did the research. And the research had showed me that my father was like, had got his brains blown out like on Central Park West. And then my mother, I remember they said that my mother had brought me to the funeral on a full-length chinchilla. And it was like a sigh of relief, you know what I'm saying? Because I finally knew that what I was feeling was true, you know what I'm saying? That I was the son of a hustler or a gangster. I had sex for the first time when I was 12. I used to watch this thing called Midnight Blue. It's like this porno channel here in New York. So the first time I had sex, I wasn't scared. I remember it felt so good to me. Like other people say they were scared, like it felt so good to me. And I really really was impressed by the way I was stroking this young lady. And I remember she had like the best pussy in the world, even to this day. You know what I'm saying? But I just remember how impressed I was, because I used to watch Midnight Blue, and how I felt like I was just as good as the porno stars I saw like in Midnight Blue. You know, when I was in college, I had fell in love with this girl. She went back to San Francisco. Me and her were keeping up a long-term relationship. And one day I called, and this guy answered the phone. And I was like, who's this? And she was like, it's her new boyfriend. That's like how I found out that she had a new boyfriend. And I just remember like walking in the park, and I was just like crying and so hurt up. It cut me loose. And so that's when I guess I started becoming a player. Like a guy that I definitely am probably like a lonely guy. I don't really have like a lot of friends, stuff like that. I don't really have a lot of friends. I think people think I have a lot of friends, you know. I don't think I really make a good friend. I don't think I'm the one that somebody's gonna call when they're going through something. I think I'm gonna have the patience to sit down and like really slow down to give them the attention that they need, you know. Sometimes I don't know how to like be a person, like I don't know what to do like on a Saturday in the daytime, or I don't know what to do for a while, like if I'm in front of just me, in front of somebody for a while. People in entertainment, they have like their stage life or whatever. Like they know how to switch it off. I don't really think I know how to do that. Like I'm so in love with what I do, and it's like it never let me down. It got me almost like a drug, you know. I just became a machine. It like kind of made me lose some of myself. I just made a choice. Personal life, family and relationships and stuff, or music. I just chose music. I'm 19, and I always like seeing people entertained and seeing people have a good time. And I thought, you know, over the holidays, just wanted to throw a celebrity basketball game in Harlem, where I'm from, and just the power of my name at that time had drew thousands and thousands and thousands of people. We open up the doors, everybody starts flowing through, but then thousands more come. I'm talking about like almost, I would say like it was like 10,000 people outside. There was this thing in hip hop called bum rushing the door. It still happens. Like when people don't have a ticket, when they hear something sold out, they say, fuck it, we gotta still get in, we're gonna bum rush the door. So when they bum rushed the first door, when they got to the bottom of the stairs, the doors didn't go out that way, they only came in. So people were stuck. And they were just crushing people down at the bottom of the stairs. Saying, you see people just laid out. Like I'm talking about kids completely limp, laid out. I start seeing somebody over on the right, they start crying and screaming. Somebody left's crying and screaming. My like heart drops. It's a scream and a crying I never even heard before. People are like, he's not breathing. I think he's dead, I think he's dead. It just snowballs, and then just one right after another. It's like instantaneously the energy changed to just panic. Paramedics were in there, the police, everybody was just scared to come in there, because it was just like, oh shit, how did it just happen so quick? And how are people gonna explain it? Just a bunch of young kids in there, we're young, and we're trying to like give people mouth to mouth and giving people mouth to mouth. And I'm like feeling people die in my mouth. Like people get their last breath as I'm getting mouth to mouth, feeling them die in my mouth. Everybody was so scared, everybody had left. And I was just there, me, and I was just standing over these 9 bodies, and they were just there, like all sprawled out, nothing on top, because everybody got so scared. Some could scare you so much that it's too much for even people to be around. It was just like definitely like the worst day of my life. And definitely thought about killing myself. That's really how I started to become famous, was through a tragedy. I mean, one time somebody said, like, you're a tragic hero. And I said, what does that mean? And they were like, in Shakespeare, he always has a tragic hero. And I was just like, that's fucked up that you're calling me a tragic hero. If I was going through something with a girl, like Biggie would be the one I would talk to, or I was having a problem personally, or had any type of insecurities about something. You know how like you have a friend you can confide in. That's the type of person Biggie was. He wasn't really like this gangster rapper. He was like a person that he was probably one of the only people I had really trusted like for a long time. It's not a feeling that I really felt a lot like in my life. You know, when I was around Big, I felt like he really loved me. Like, I felt like if I left the room, he wasn't gonna say nothing bad, or somebody said something bad about me, he would defend that, or if I needed to talk to somebody, like he would be there with good advice. And that's the crazy thing. It was never like a Puff Daddy, Biggie Smalls relationship. It was just like, we were two like young kids that were friends, you know? I just know when Biggie died, I know he was scared, you know what I'm saying? I know he was scared because I know he ain't want to die. We never really sat down at a party together. We would go in together, he would do his thing, I would run around, we'd meet up at the end of the night. For some reason that night, me and him had sat together the whole night. He was just like, I want you to just sit with me tonight. I don't want you running around, I want you to sit with me tonight. Calm your ass down, Puff. You just sit down, you know. I was real hyper, you know. When I heard the shots go off, I knew that he was gonna die. I just knew that it was already written like that. You know, when I had held him, I just knew that he wasn't gonna be alive. Biggie died because of the result of the energy. I can't say he died because of this person, or he had a beef with Tupac, or Suge Knight, or this one, or that one. It was just the energy of hip-hop is so strong. I mean, he's no longer here. It was like the worst fear coming true. Biggie just wanted to be a rap superstar. He didn't want to hurt nobody. If we said burn this motherfucker down, they was gonna burn that motherfucker down. And that's a scary feeling. Whatever we said to do, they was gonna do it. I always believed about the power of what you say in your records. And the night before, I never told nobody this, the night before I did a record. And I said, bad boys don't die, we multiply in a record. And as soon as I said that, I was just like, something felt funny about me saying that. But I never even told nobody about that, but I said that in the record. I was just like, something don't feel right about that. Like, anybody could die. And then the next night, he had died. After that, it kind of slowed down. People was like, it's enough. People need to stop even talking about it. And that situation really taught me a lot about music, you know, the power of music. I never talk about, like, death in my music. I'm going to die. I never talk about I want to kill nobody. I try to always talk about positive things because I seen it happen. I know the strength of it, the power of music. It's a dangerous power, you know what I'm saying? It's a dangerous power. Yeah, I see color. I see white and black, you know. I don't mind color, but I represent myself as a black man, you know what I'm saying? I know I'm black, I know what I have to face. I know people's perceptions, and I love being black, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't want to be white, no disrespect, but I love being black. I just love the way I move, I love the way I talk, I love the way I look. I love my heritage, my background, the way I feel, the way I think. I just love being black. I don't really believe that once you're from the streets, you'll just always be from the streets. I was a dreamer. You know what I'm saying? If I saw diamonds in my dream, if I saw a yacht, I wanted to dream everything was beyond the reality. I knew what, like, I knew what people wanted. If you fucked up, you don't want to be fucked up no more. You want to, like, be able to live a better life. So instead of talking about the guns or the violence, I was always talking about a better life. Places we didn't go before, things we never wore, cars we never drove, houses we never lived in. I think I brought an aspiration to hip-hop. Tried to take it out of just being street. Our whole stuff was a fantasy and a dream that I always felt would come true. Right when I graduated college, I started going out to some clubs in New York. It was just like my release. I just like fell in love with being out. I just loved the music. It was just like a drug to me. I would just dance till like maybe 12 in the afternoon. I didn't even drink or nothing. I wasn't even into no girls or nothing like that. I just loved music. But I never even knew you could have a profession by it. I started throwing parties and being an entrepreneur, being a hustler, the next Russell Simmons. I was working in the A&R department. They was paying me like $10,000 a year. Dress shirt and a tie, yes sir. Getting the breakfast to the coffee to getting the tapes. And I remember I wanted to get everything quicker than anybody else got it. I went from there to getting a chance to be A&R director to being the person that everybody asked, was it hot or not? Because I would be out in the clubs all night. I started working with these new acts on the label named Jodeci, and Father MC and Mary J. Blige, and they all went platinum. Vice president at the age of 20. You know, I went to MCA Records in LA, and I was just cursing everybody out because they were like older white men, and they were trying to tell us how to make R&B music. We can't let nobody fuck it up. You know what I'm saying? We just gotta make sure we stay true to who we are. It just, I was selling so many records and just so young, it intrigued people. I mean, it intrigued me too, you know. I was just a wonder kid. It was just something that they never saw before. To be young and to be Puff Daddy, it's just like, I felt like I was Russell Simmons. I felt like my dream had came true. And that's what, you know, sometimes you do good, sometimes you're not doing good. That's the test of a great champion. It's how they get up. I've been knocked out a lot, but I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna come back at you. 2 years ago, the records I was making weren't really sticking. I was scatterbrained. I wasn't really focused, trying to do too much, and everything just started suffering. I guess it was a vibe that I lost my mojo, my swagger. Represent bling bling and champagne and samples records. It does it. You could just get corny, you know what I'm saying? I'm just getting out of it right now. I'm just getting up, you know, I'm just starting to swing right now. The stuff that had the most impact was the honest stuff. The stuff talking about the money and popping shit and how much you got. You know, that comes and goes, that's a trend. But the things that when you can make music and touch people emotionally, that's some of the stuff I've had the most fun with doing. Now on this new album, it's like a lot of stuff that I'm talking about is stuff that's, you know, raw emotions. Yeah, I think the point of my new album is definitely when I was telling you about how, like, when I heard music, I love music, and I just danced to it when I was coming up. And then the message it's so deep, but there was things you could feel about it, but you knew that the artist was being honest, and you loved the way the music made you feel. That's why I called it press play. Because I never heard James Brown's Marketing Plan, or the Sugar Hill Gangs, or the Beastie Boys. I just put it in, I pressed play, and that shit bugged me the fuck out. Like, a lot of people have asked me, like, how do I get to this where I'm at? It's my belief. Like, I believe so strong, so crazy. It's like to believe, the power in belief. It's the theme of my life right now to share with people. For them to believe, like, I believe I could do anything, like, you know, I just really, really do.
What do you believe in the most?
God. I believe in God the most. And after that, myself.
Talk about the doubt you've had in yourself. You're human.
Nah, I've never doubted myself. I go into it knowing I'm one of the baddest motherfuckers that ever lived. You know, not even in a cocky way. I just feel like I'm one of the baddest motherfuckers that ever walked the face of the earth. You know, and that's just how I am. Because I feel I am one of the baddest motherfuckers that ever walks the face of the earth. That's just a fact. That's just a pure fact. You know when I look you in your eyes. They know when I walk in a room. You know, that right there is clear. And it's not really how you start. It's not about a leg. It's about the overall race. And that's one of the reasons why I'm a marathon runner. I ain't no sprinter. I could walk out my door right now and run a marathon right now. And that's what separates you from me. All right. Thank you very much. All right. Thank you. All right. God bless.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, you got me to the sun up.
Sun up. Look, 6:25. You run out of film yet?
No.
How much film do we have left?
A little more than half an hour.
A few hours?
Huh? All right, man. Hey, I'm glad we had to talk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you for sharing it with
All
me.
right, cool.
Let's see what happens with the footage, huh?
Yes, do it.
Take your mic.
Yes.
Gotcha.